Welcome back. For wounded veterans, the rates for divorce and suicide are high, but much lower for those who have been a part of Operation Heal Our Patriots. Rhonda McBride looks at why this program seems to help.
Some of the couples headed out early in kayaks. Courtney and John Schumacher didn't want to waste a moment.
You're appreciating what you have, being grateful that you're alive today and that you can live for all your brothers that weren't fortunate enough to come home.
It's their habit to stay positive.
And it's an important mindset to keep, especially raising kids. If we're negative and we're down and we look at the injury as a negative or anything like that, you know, that'll dramatically affect them and how they grow up and how they view the world.
John Schumacher says he fights hard to stop his war experiences from turning him into something he's not.
You made it through the fire once, you can make it through the fire every single time.
The Schumachers have been an inspiration to others here.
And to see a couple like those two, they're just amazing people.
James Tracy also lost his ability to walk after a bomb explosion. Maybe that's why he bonded with John.
I had the honor of making little flies for fly fishing next to John. And so John and I were just kind of helping each other out and doing a little wheelchair dance around the table, you know.
James and his wife Nicole say they've learned a lot from other couples.
And I think that is kind of a vital part of why it all works so much, because you feel like you're not alone and that they understand.
James also suffers from trauma to the brain, which has made his temper short and has taken a lot of work to manage.
Just to hear from my kids that they're glad that Mad Dad is no longer there is already progress for me.
And after coming here, he feels acceptance and gratitude, especially for one staffer.
He pushed me in this wheelchair for 1.5 miles so I could go see these bears and the fish. The salmon, I think, were even more cool to watch because there were just hundreds of them jumping the falls.
This is the Polar Plunge 2017. The first guy that gets to go is the cameraman. So go. Yeah.
No, our cameraman did not take the plunge, but most of the couples did.
Go, 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 go.
The polar plunge is a form of Alaskan shock therapy, especially for those from places like Florida and Texas.
How often do you get to jump off a dock into the Alaska water with your wife? And you know, this has been a great week.
It just brought some life to me. I don't know, it's so hard to explain.
Until now, many here had lost the ability to take pleasure in life, which nearly destroyed Stephanie and Chris Moore's marriage.
I was honestly afraid to be alone with him and just to even have a conversation with him.
Stephanie was deployed twice as a medic until she was injured when a bomb exploded at a roadside checkpoint. And while her husband Chris tried hard to comfort her, she always turned him away.
Just touch, holding hands, cuddling was hard for her. And that's a big deal to me. That's, you know, I'm a big guy, but I'm a cuddly little baby. And they shut her down.
Even worse, her own children triggered memories about kids in the war zone used to plant bombs.
She didn't see our kids as kids. She saw them as threats. So that was hard.
There's something called moral injury or soul injury.
Chaplain Fisher says that sometimes does the most damage of all.
Whether it's a tragic event where there's collateral damage of women and children, we know deep down in our heart, deep down in our soul, deep down in our spiritual DNA, this is not right.
Chaplain Fisher says spiritual wounds can only be healed with spirituality. That's why this retreat incorporates so many rituals.
What ritual does is that it kind of orders our lives and it kind of establishes our boundaries and it kind of gives us a framework to express what's inside, bring what's inside out.
One of the rituals, to write down your sorrows and regrets and toss them into the fire.
And I am also going to leave the old me here and move forward with the new and happy me.
For the first time in a long time, Stephanie and Chris Moore have been able to hold each other close.
There it goes.
Mine's gone quick.
And now that they can reach out to each other, they can also reach out to others.
Can you pray for us?
Yes.
We threw our trash in the fire. We're moving on.
Dear Heavenly Father, I just lift up this precious couple to you. I just ask that you be within their marriage, strengthen it, give them love and endurance.
The Moores say the days here have been too short, but already it's eased a burden they've carried for far too many years.
I'm so glad you guys are here. Can I get you guys anything from the bunker? Would you like some water or something?
I'm good to go.
Okay.
Wow, very powerful. Up next, how marriages, especially among wounded vets, are often a casualty of war.
The soldier is not the person that they were. And for the spouse, that's not the person that they married. They've changed.
Why Franklin Graham says spirituality is one way of the best ways to cope. Coming up.